Josh Kane then ready to break off in match number 5 of 6 for the evening. And I think you're absolutely spot on with what you said a moment ago, Si. Almost needs to just write that game off as just one of them that can happen. Interestingly, he's lost faith in his front ball break. He's gone to the cut break, and he's not had much luck there either, despite getting a pretty tasty split. So, well, what do you do now?
Yeah, he did that on the final break of the last match, and I thought that might be because there was 8 minutes left. He was 3-0 down. I thought maybe he's chasing the golden break, but no, it is that he's lost faith in the front ball. But that's not worked either, going for the cut break. So he's going to have to sit there and hope it's not a repeat of what he's just seen, and that David doesn't find his form now that he's out and relax and start playing his best game. Josh is a player that will go to the cut break. When he was playing a couple of years ago and starting with a cut break, he actually had 4 in 8 breaks, 3 in 1 match, and they were in a group stage, and he was won the final break of his previous match. So it was actually 4 golden breaks in 8. So he has previous. Attempted safety shot there, but it's a poor one from David. He's left this actually wide open. I suspect Josh will just take these on now, back himself to make this finish. For some reason he doesn't like it. Looks good to me. The yellow passes the red to the bottom left where the cue ball is now. He's perfect here to get on the one on the bottom cushion. Maybe he wasn't perfect, he had a little bit too much angle, which is why he was working it all out. That's not good. Too straight. He does have it some angle, but he's got to force it if he wants to get the cue ball up. He needs to hit this really well. Does hit it really well, and even then it still comes up a couple of rolls short. Big difference that, because obviously yes, he can pop the yellow at the top of the table, but yellow at the top gets him on the one on the cushion here, but then trying to get back out to the other side of the table, difficult. Argument actually to say double the yellow he's nearest to the bottom corner actually. Okay. He's not going to take that on. Maybe it's not the right play.
How'd you like these to get out from here?
I don't.
I didn't think you would.
It's amazing, isn't it? You get well, in this case, it was the second shot wrong, positionally. By what, a ball's width, a revolution of the cue ball, and it sends you down a path where the game becomes really difficult.
Fabulous bit of cueing.
Now he's got to find a double, but he's got to hold the white. Really difficult this. The double isn't too bad, but you can see what he's looking at, because you play the double, the natural line of the cue ball is to go left cushion, top cushion, and round and away from where you want to be. So can he dead weight it in? No. He's really just trying to kill it in so the cue ball doesn't go too far. The double actually wasn't that tricky.
Yeah, you can see exactly where he sort of ran aground there, can't you? I think ordinarily he more than fancies that double, but a lot going on with it. How'd you like that for a plan? Didn't leave David much.
No, that was a clever shot though.
Yeah.
He's played a really good two-way shot there. Now he's just got to back himself. He doesn't have to, he could play safe, but you feel like he's going to try and back himself here. He's obviously, not that he's got nothing to play for, of course he's got, ranking points to play for, position in the group and everything else, but more than anything else, it's an opportunity to build something to take into your next tournament. But no point really kind of slowing it down here. Often say you don't really want to play position on play position on the ball that you're playing, but in this case you would rather have that than have to come back for this one at the top of the table. It's come out really well for him.
I must say, I think by and large, well, I'll refrain from what I was about to say because it's aged dreadfully. I would say by and large I've been really impressed with what I've seen from David tonight. I think there's been promise there. First time with all of this sort of going on around him. We've certainly seen worse arena debuts. But that one right there, that wasn't the greatest shot he's ever played. It's going to cost him the first frame in this one.
David McQuillan's break. 21 Frank to nil.
He's hit that well again, hasn't he? Certainly been the strength of his game tonight. Hasn't quite been able to put together the frames on the back of the chances he's created for himself.
Red ball's in play.
Tough layout though, this one. Red above the 8 ball. Can you get to the potting angle of that? If you can't, how would you deal with it?
That's a good question.
Got the angle to go into it now, but you know, you're 3 shots in and you've got to land on a ball that's moving, and you've got to make a good pot from a hampered queuing off the cushion to do it. It's tough. This is really tough. Well, he's not tried to play into it, so does that tell us that there is a potting angle available? It really doesn't look like it. Does it? Can you get onto it into the middle and away to get onto another ball? And obviously you can get onto it into the top corner, but again, can you get onto the top corner to get onto it, to get onto either the 8 ball or the last red? It really challenging. The question for me is, if you're going to play into it that time, why not play into it previously? Because you can say that, well, was he playing into it? But the pace he was playing the shot at, I don't think he was previously. You'd be playing it with a little bit more pace to develop it. A couple of strange choices. Only he'll know exactly what he was trying to do. Oh, this is tough. Easy to play a push shot here. Easy to foul.
Oh. Well, everything you just said, but what a shot.
Yeah, he was so straight though, he had nowhere to go. I actually thought he had enough angle, the way he was queuing up to it, that he could slide the other side of the red and have some sort of shot, but no. What's his next trick?
Well, he really was trying to pull out all the stops, wasn't he? McQuillan trying to open up his box of magic tricks. Not to be.
Patience the key here for Josh. 1-0 up, under 10 minutes to play. 2 yellows on the left-hand side are awkward. 2 yellows at the top of the table are awkward. Is there any reason to be aggressive here? Don't mind potting a couple of balls, get above the yellow on the right-hand side, and then just open them up whilst leaving a snooker. Well, not so sure about that shot in the way he's played it. I think it would have been better to try and separate them more, even if that felt more of a risk of leaving the red visible but not potable. If you couldn't do it playing the top one, play the bottom one and use the top one to get the snooker. Oh, that's an excellent shot. Oh, that's shot of the night.
He's played a couple in this frame. Oh, how about that? David McQuillan. 1-1.
Wow, that really was incredible. I mean, completely snookered, swerves around, makes the ball. That was shot of the night. I mean, I thought Josh's safety was a poor one, but I still thought he was going to win the frame.
Fabulous from the Don.
Josh says that's why I don't play safe, but
That's why I don't play safe.
big moment really for Josh, because he's absolutely right in the middle of this night. He really is. If he wins this match, he's absolutely in it. And now all of a sudden, instead of being 2-0 up and, you know, what would it have taken him? Another 2 minutes maybe to solve that problem of the table. You know, so what, 6 to play maybe? He's 1-1 with 8 to play, or just under. Back to work here. And his break is still letting him down.
Break hasn't been his friend tonight.
Sure, that's exactly how he played it. I think he was trying to play into that ball that he grazed off, but that is landed ball in hand perfect. Might even, I mean, he could screw into the red, but I'd be tempted not to move it. Depends how he sees the finish from here. Yeah, and he didn't quite like that. The thing is maybe he hasn't left the best of angles. I think maybe the argument to screwing into it was that you were leaving yourself a better angle on the one to right centre. Now he's having to make a slightly trickier pot to top left corner. If this goes in, he's in perfect shape. Well, it's a great pot, but he hasn't quite got the cue ball where I thought he was trying to. Again, not quite perfect on this red. Because of that, he's still, even as good as shots as he's playing right here, he's never once put that cue ball in a position where you think, yeah, that's frame over. Yeah. Keeps leaving himself work. You know, the last 2 shots he stopped the cue ball dead. This one he's used the ball. He's still got work. You know, these yellows play big, but credit him with some excellent potting and trying to keep the game simple. And this time uses the yellow to perfection. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, there's been some moments tonight for David McQuillan that I'm sure he'll look back on and probably be a touch frustrated with. But there's been plenty to sort of, you know, that I think you'd look at and go, well, I've got something to build on here. You know, there's a game there.
Yeah, I mean, that a couple of times tonight he's kind of trying to make it happen. Like almost the first shot he played in that visit was trying to sort of move into balls and make it happen, and then from there on in he just took exactly what he had in front of him. The cue ball didn't move very far. He just was like, okay, I'm gonna do this to connect to that, and it always looked a bit like he had work to do, but he found a way, and in the end he really didn't have to do too much. It was excellent work.
Frame 4. McQuillan's break. Leading 2 frames to 1.
Noise you just heard heralds the beginning of the 15-second shot clock, and Josh Kane is bang up against it. A match he must win, remember, to stay in the night. Just feel like it might be snowballing a little bit for the killer, as we've seen happen so many times before.
Yeah, look at this layout. Oh, David can see this right at the top of the table. He's a touch fortunate, but if he can, he's perfect. He obviously can. Loose cue ball this time.
Yeah, Josh has played some good stuff tonight, and there'll be an element of him which, if this doesn't go his way, as we're sort of expecting it to at this juncture, he just has to dust himself down and go, well, it wasn't quite meant to be tonight. He knows these Monday nights, we talked to him about it earlier, better than most. He's been on the right side of them and the wrong side of them. He knows that sometimes it's just not in your cards, it just isn't in your cards. But he also knows how quickly they can change. And I wonder.
That's a visit that David will feel like he should have got out. Once he lands on that ball to top right hand corner, he should get out from there. He's right, he tamely hands the table over, although it's a very tough layout on yellows. That doesn't help. Great first shot. 8 ball doesn't have anywhere to go, but cue ball could go towards it here.
Oh, strap in. Strap in. Where's this going?
You could play a loss of turn and not leave anything on. Just flick off it. Cue ball will stay in the pocket. Yeah, nothing on here for Josh, and no. You know, it's not an easy safety here. You know, that 8 ball is close enough to the pocket that every chance that David will get a shot at it in a second. Josh might take this on, top left.
I think he has to.
Oh, that was tight.
Oh, what a pot as well. Oh, he's not quite made it. Thought that was in, to be honest. Looked really clean. Play continues, so David McQuillan is for a 3-1 lead. I can't believe both balls have stayed up. I thought at least one of them was destined for the pocket.
I thought the minute he hit that, he'd made both. I really do. I can't believe the cue ball stayed on the table. And in the end, fortunate for the 8 ball to stay on the table. Although, if the 8 ball goes in and the cue ball stays up, he wins the frame. But look what he's asking Josh to come up with here in terms of as a clearance. And that has not helped. And all this with only a minute 30 left. Somehow got to find a way to win this frame, and at least he has the next break for a potential golden, which we know he's obviously got in his locker.
It's been a strange old game.
If the yellow drops in the middle, I think he has to play the double now because he's on it. He can't get back on it. Oh, he tried to develop the yellow, so that will be that. Disappointing match from Josh Kane's perspective. You know, look at it's easy to sit here and be critical, of course, because it's tough out there. But you know, brilliant shot from David McQuillan. Let's not make no mistakes about it. But it was a poor safety from Josh Kane in frame 2. So you know, Josh has got to find a way to win that frame and make it 2-0, and this match would be very different. And of course, the frame we've just seen is almost a very similar example. That, you know, if it wasn't for the time pressure, I'm sure Josh would have had a better effort to win that one. But out of the 4 frames we've seen, 2 of them he should have won, you know, and he won 1 of the 4. So he'll look at this match and think this is a match that absolutely should have won.
Yeah, just not quite been his night. Neil Raybone will be pretty pleased about this, in truth. Doesn't necessarily affect him a huge amount. He still has to go and get the job done against Vivek Makh. But I mean, I love Josh Kane for how he's going about this finish. In the end, he's going to foul by getting it off the table, trying to generate a load of action on that cue ball. Dave McQuillan wins his first match in the Ultimate Pool Champions League. It is too little too late for the Dom, but he can have himself a brew and reflect on what was a good night's work. A positive start to life as an Ultimate Pool Pro for Dave McQuillan. For Josh Kane not to be, our next match decides it all when we come back.